Hey guys, I'm Mike gonna make stuff. I'm gonna try something new on this live. It's gonna be crazy. Give me a second. What's up? Hadn't seen you talk yet, but good to see you. Get all my stuff set up here because it's tripping. Three of you watching. Hot dog. All right. Let's shift this up a little bit. Hey guys. All right. So the plan is crazy. It's audacious. But if you guys were tuned into the live yesterday, I decided I was going to get organized. I was going to clean the shop up. It was going to be awesome. Thank you, Space Nut. Appreciate you. Wow, right off the bat already kicking us with the super chat. That's what I'm talking about. Let's go. We're going nuts today. We're getting nutty with it. We're getting squirrely, like John Malecki shows us. Let me show you what's up. Well, as I was cleaning yesterday, I got into all of this, and I'm organizing, I'm cleaning, everything's cool, and then I hit this log, and this log was in the way, and I couldn't figure out what I was doing with it, and I was complaining about it, and it was all this and that. Well, then I decided, in my ADHD wisdom, that I think I was kind of sick of cleaning. Instead, I'm gonna do some wood carving, because the hell with it. And if we're gonna do it, I'm gonna go big. Check it out. So this guy is a honker, okay? This thing is huge. 32.5 inches across, 13 inches in diameter. Here's the crazy ass plan. As you can see, I've already been chopping and whacking at it and doing whatever the hell I could do. I ain't got a chainsaw. I ain't got a Dremel. Well, I got a Dremel. I ain't got none of that crazy stuff. But we're going to take on with the tools that we got, and we're going to make my vision happen, which I've got something artsy and fartsy. Hold on a minute. Let me grab the rest of my stuff. So let's run through the list. We got this. We got hand saws. We've got my new carving knife that I ended up making the other day, right? We've got chisels with steel blanks that lets me beat the hell out of this thing with a sledge. We've got regular wood chisels, which is good to go. We got OG booger mallet, Gladys, and my mitts. We're tearing this up. The plan is I'm going to chop this down, and I'm going to make me an indentation in the middle, a big honking indentation in the center. And it's going to look, instead of me carving something out of this, I'm going to make this the scene for what I intend my carving to be. And that's that after I cut this, the sides will look like they're the sloping edges of a mountain, and you'll have a little valley in the bottom, and there'll be like a farmhouse and a fence and maybe some animals and some trees, and it'll be a cool little country scene in the middle of this, like it's a little valley inside the log. That's the plan. Whether I pull it off, hell if I know. But I guess we're about to find out. There might be a little bit of ASMR going on. I may shut up, not say anything. And do I know anything about wood carving? Hell to the no. What I do know is that I've got a boatload of tools, and I'm going to throw the freaking kitchen sink at this thing. until I accomplish what it is I want to accomplish. I'll take a sawzall to it. I don't care. Whatever I got to do. The first thing I need to do is to make myself a walled out space in the center of this. You know what I mean? So there will be a lot of that. I will probably tear after this for a few hours. And then I may take the rest of what I'm doing over to the new website. I'll tell you guys about that here in a little bit. But for now, hi, Julie. Good to see you. I think the cool part about this is that some of you live in some pretty humid conditions. So if a log gets punky, then it starts getting all rotten and it gets real soft. But as you can see, this thing has been out. It's been weathered several times out in the rainstorms. But the cool thing about around here, check these now. Oh, yeah, this is going to be cool. I don't even know what kind of wood this is. If you know what species it is, let me know. Put it in the comments. The cool part about logs like this is that they get that punky look on the outside, but they're really still stable, hard, solid wood in the middle. So that's the benefit of this desert climate that I'm in, which means most of this will turn out pretty cool. And I think the farther I go into the heartwood, the more I'm going to end up seeing that I can get some really smooth sloping surfaces. I can carve some detail. I think it's going to work out pretty cool. Again, I should have put it in the damn description of the live. Do I know how to do wood carving? Hell no. But I know just enough to make myself dangerous. All right, so the chiseling thing is kind of going okay, but I think I can accelerate this a little bit. I'm thinking, oh, I'm about to make some wood carvers lose their damn minds. Hold on, hold on. If I put a wood blade on this sucker, then I can make cross rips and then chop that and knock out a lot of the waste really easy. So that'll let me accelerate the process quite a bit. Grizzly, good to see you, buddy. Let's throw a big old aggressive honking blade in this thing. All right. Yo, VIP, let's kick it. What the fuck am I making? Hey, I'm making a mess right now. That's all I know. Okay. It is a John Malicki shirt. Yes, it is. Getting squirrely. That's exactly what we're doing today. All right. So let's see if my theory tested out. Come on, Booger Mallet, go to town. Woo! What y'all think? Am I on the right path here? This stuff is just blowing out of here. Oh, that was no good. I overshot my line, but that's all right. It'll be part of the rustic later. Ooh, that was a big chunk of shit that I got going right there. Hey, June, how are you? Okay, Booger Mallet, I love you, but let's get a little bit more squirrely with it. Let's go. Yeah, baby. I learned that from metalworking in the fab shop. There are very few problems you can't make progress on with the right size sledgehammer. All right, now we're getting somewhere. See, we evacuated quite a bit from right here. That was a big old honking chuck. I think the Sawzall idea is smart. Let's keep on keeping on. And that is a lot of work on that little Sawzall. So we'll make a few cuts, do a little chiseling, kind of back and forth between them all. Well, I don't know how motivating I'm going to be. CNG, what's going on? I'm teaching myself how to wood carve. And if I'm going to do it, then I'm going to do it to it. All right, all right. So far, progress is looking pretty good. We're moving out big chunks. Tell me, what kind of wood do you guys think this is? I ain't got no stinking clue. It is very dry. It's very light. It almost wants to look like it's walnut, but I don't think it is. And the condition of the exterior of the log was no indicator for me. Yeah. Just a couple of little thwacks is knocking a lot out of this. Ooh. But I am most definitely getting an arm day in with this sledgehammer. See what I mean? I think that this was beneficial because if you could see, what's coming out of there is really, really big. So we're moving a lot of timber out of here. I am making stuff again, Nikki. How are you, dear? Good to see you. I think I'm going to take a break, go back to booger mallet for a second. You knew it. You are intuitive like that, Nikki, that's for sure. I'm intuitive in much the same way. Hell, did you know, just by looking at a car's headlights, I can tell you which way it's going. So we still got a lot of material to get out of this sucker before I can even start considering any of the artistic side of things. So, you know, I know what that is, firewood. I bet it probably was. Listen, this is honestly a chunk of wood that somebody had discarded out behind their house. And I ran up and asked about it. They were like, hell, you're doing me a favor. Get the damn thing out of the way. Go. Take it. So I don't even think they had a fireplace. I think they did some tree trimming or something. And then had the leftover piece and couldn't find anybody to take it. That is until your boy came along. I am getting a little artsy with it. So, I'm going to do my best to describe this, but like most artistic endeavors, I don't know if I'm going to do it any justice explaining it. I'm making this big ass indentation here. I'm going to show you the whole log. So it goes all the way 32 inches across. It's about 13 inches this way. And the idea is I'm going to carve out the center of this so that it's like a valley in between two mountain slopes. And then we'll make a scene in the bottom that looks like a prairie with a fence and a little cabin, maybe some trees. So this whole thing will be like a little diorama carved into the log. Is it ambitious? Yep. Is it in my element? Nope. Is it something I'm scared to try? Not a chance. Like I said, I'm going to keep tearing at it. Throwing everything in the kitchen sink at it. Until it just becomes clear that I got no chance of success. But to get to all of that yummy goodness, the proverbial nougat in the center, I may be at it a while. I absolutely acknowledge that. But I'm damn sure never going to know until I tear at it. And while I'm doing so, I guess I could tell you a little bit more about me. And why I ended up as weird and as squirrely as I am. So, through factors that I won't discuss, let's just say since I was little, I knew that I had to be resourceful. And I knew I needed to make do with what I had. And if I didn't have it, then I had to make what was available into what I wanted or needed. And this is very indicative of that. By the way, I can take a second and take a breath to tell you guys good morning. Hi. Whew. Tearing it up. Good to see you guys. The idea is that we continue to tear into this, and that's why I'm not scared to take this on. Listen, if consider this with me for just a moment. If this is something you would even entertain as something to try, I want to encourage you by telling you this. If I do this, and I tear into this log with the idea of making the diorama that I want inside, and I completely screw the pooch, totally mess it up, what did I ruin? Nothing. I ruined a log that was sitting out back of somebody's house that they wanted gone anyway. And I learned a lot of lessons about what to do and what not to do in this process. So as I approach this, there literally is no downside to how this turns out. Either I'm successful or I learned something. And either way, shit, yeah, let's go, right? I'm going to turn the camera back down there so you guys can watch what I'm doing. 55 people watching. Ooh, listen. Y'all do me a favor, hit that like button. If you end up subscribing, I promise you I won't be mad about that either. If you're on your way down there to hit the like and you accidentally trip over the subscribe button, don't feel bad. That's something you had it coming. Hey, Plywood, how you doing, buddy? Welcome to the most bass-ackwards carving video you ever seen in your life. Let's get another layer of this down with the Sawzall. I'm doing phenomenal, buddy. I am taking on something new. I'm learning something I didn't know. And I ain't even mad about that. I think you guys can see hitting it with that Sawzall is probably my best bet. I'm having a lot of good progress evacuating so much of this waste. Chopping it down much like I would getting the waste out of the way of a dado. If I'm going to make a lap joint or a dado, then cutting those relief cuts lets me get in here with a chisel and really get after it really fast. here, booger mallet. Let's go to work. What's the end goal? Ryan, I am going to, if successful, I'm going to carve a rustic nature scene encapsulated in a valley. At the bottom of a hollow that I create in this log. That's the plan anyway. And I think that given that I don't have anything like a chainsaw or anything crazy like that, as you can see, I mean, I'm moving and getting rid of a lot of material. This is letting me evacuate a lot of stuff really fast. If you like what you see, I would humbly like to point something out. I am currently, at the time I started this video, I was so close to 1,000 subscribers I could spit. I think I was at 972. If you like what I'm up to, and you feel like you want to contribute to getting me past the 1,000 mark, I think I would be most grateful. Yeah, this thing's really knocking out the wood. Whew. But I am going to take another little bit of a break and keep on talking with you guys. 65 people. Man, 973. I love it. Let's keep going, guys. Sound off in the chat if you'd much rather me just do the work and you want to kind of ASMR or whatever you want to do. It's 6 of one, half dozen the other for me. I'm gonna be beating on this for at least a couple hours. Try to do my best to make some progress here. Yep, Sunday Spun Day is about to come up over Mike at the Whacking Shack too. I don't want to take away from what he's doing. So if you end up taking off and doing that, I'm sure all of you understand I ain't gonna be mad or whatever. I encourage you to do it, actually. Pablo, hola. Buena mañana, ¿qué estás haciendo? How you doing today? Let's get down here so you guys can see some more of what I'm up to. Given that I'm absent of a chainsaw, I think I'm making some pretty good progress here. Could it be faster? Yes, but I'm old and I'm being a bit lazy. And I stopped to talk to you guys now and in the end. But I feel like I'm satisfied with the rate of progress and how it's turning out. I'm going to make another cut down that fat part right there. I think a lot of people curl their nose and don't look at a Sawzall as a viable piece of equipment to be working. I guess you would call it fine woodworking. But as this project shows, it most definitely has its usefulness. Yeah, we are knocking a bunch out of here. I mean, this is going to take a little bit. I never had any illusions about the fact that I was going to get this done in an hour or something. But it is most definitely doing the work. As I continue on, I know I want my mountain slopes to do like so. So I'm going to continue to narrow the part where I'm hogging out stuff. And I'll end up with some stair steps on the side over here. But then I could smooth those into the mountain slopes that I'm thinking of. And give myself a sufficiently sized flat portion at the base. Thank you, Ryan. Appreciate you, friend. It means we only got 26 more subscribers till we hit that 1,000 mark. Oh man, the carving knife is working good. If you didn't see this video, yes, I did make this carving knife. I ended up making it out of a piece of a lawnmower blade. I think that it will come in quite handy once I get down to start doing the detail work. But for the time being, we've still got the matter of evacuating so much of this material. We got to get after it. I almost want to take a decent scale saw and run some stripes across here. But there's a part in the back of my mind that kind of second guesses that from a safety perspective. I don't know if I'm going to be able to control a skill saw going across this uneven surface of this log. And being able to do so without it binding up or giving me a kickback or doing something unexpected on me. And besides, you guys wouldn't have as much fun watching me just rip all this out with a skill saw. So I'm going to turn this a little bit. If you can see what I'm up to, the idea is to cut into here and make myself the little valley that I'm up to. And give myself an arm workout. And maybe give you guys something you find entertaining while I'm doing it. No chainsaw, Bad Dragon, not one. But then in truth, because there's so little material that I'm going to be taking out of this thing, I think that if I hit it with a chainsaw, I'll be using an axe to remove a fly from my friend's forehead, if that makes any sense. It's just going to be way overkill, I think. You guys did not hear me light any age restricted products. Absolutely not. I am not pouring any 20. Well, and that is part of the arsenal. Let me explain, because I do want it to be part of what I'm doing. Somewhere I set it over here. This is the Heart brand from Walmart. I will use it, but I need you to understand the story behind it before I do. Several years ago, when my youngest was well into his single-digit ages, hello, Lily Rasmus, I make stuff of all kinds of varying disciplines: metalworking, woodworking, electronics. I teach self-sufficiency and how to do things with what you have. Today, we are teaching ourselves artistic wood carving, because why the hell not? Anyway, back to our heart hatchet here. This, if you can believe it, has a little bit of sentimental value in that my youngest, again, when he was well into his single digits, I think he was in kindergarten or first grade or something, a Christmas rolled around and he decided, against everybody's insistence, that he wanted to buy a Christmas present for Daddy. And he knew that Daddy works with wood a lot, and wood people need axes. So he saw this at the Walmart and gleefully brought it home to me, and was as proud as you could be to say that he got Daddy an axe. So, Tyler, buddy, your axe is going to work. I am so thankful that you got this for me, buddy. And it is one of the most useful axes I've ever had. And y'all hear them? Y'all hear them chips flying? Maybe all those years ago, it wasn't just some little kid. His intuition sees years into the future to see this very moment and realized that when I needed it, he came in clutch. Good kid. I love it, and I'm proud that I'm using it. Damn, them chips is flying. Mr. Bradley. I think the combination of that Sawzall, oh, it's very seasoned and very dry, Bad Dragon, it is. Very much so. Because I live out on the edge of the fringe of the desert, everything, the moisture gets sucked right out of it. I am. And quite a magnificent wood it is, I would say, Corey. I do. And I was just talking about that, Corey. I'm hesitant about doing it because of how uneven this log is. I don't know if I can be confident in just what the skill saw is going to do on me. And I don't want it to end up getting away from me. And I want to be kind of controlled with this. Lily, my first project is audacious, to say the least. I intend to wall out the center of this so that we have the appearance of a couple of mountain slopes coming in with a valley in the bottom where we'll put in a fence and a cabin and a little bit of maybe trees so that we got a little diorama of a country scene in the bottom of this log. Another thing I could tell you is that doing it the way I'm doing it, seems to be a bit of a more enjoyable experience for you guys to watch. I mean, honestly, I could take this over to the radial arm saw and blow a whole bunch of lines across it and knock it all out with a hammer in about 10 minutes. It is very dry. It is that. But in all honesty, Corey, I think that lends to my favor just a little bit. Because since it's so dry, when I get down to the detail stuff, I'll be doing so using abrasion rather than a lot of slicing. So it's not going to be leaning really hard on the carving knife as much as I'm going to be looking at sanding, filing my Dremel. And with that, it means that my abrasives won't get gummed up with wet wood debris. And of course, given that I'm in such an arid climate, any wood I get a hold of, short of felling the tree myself, is going to quickly revert to this state. It's not going to be particularly good slicing wood. I think that's the best way to say it. Plus, the dried out decomposition of this log lends to the rustic air that I think I want out of the end piece, because then it lends to the appearance and the aesthetic that the carving itself is also old. I can't see how many people do I have watching now. 41. That's good. See, it's just blowing apart, and I love that. I don't know if the mic's picking that up, but you can literally hear gigantic chunks about this size just flying all over the place. I'll be cycling through tools as I continue to do this, because that'll let me, and if you're doing the same, cycling different tools allows you to perform using different muscle groups so that you're not wearing yourself out and you're letting a certain muscle group get some rest while another one is doing the work. So they're putting together stuff in shifts. So I may go after this with a chisel for a while. Come back to the Sawzall, make some relief cuts. Double back. Use the hatchet. I don't know if you could tell. Whew. Get it. No, I don't think it is. But if it is, the hall tree right outside the door, the keys are hanging right there.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you.
You bet. Whew. Bad Dragon says, why not? Why not what? Dragon, I'm sorry. I was too busy running my mouth to read what was going on. This is a lot of fun. Doesn't seem like it, I'm sure. But I am going to say that things like this, for those of you who don't get out in the shop, this is some incredible therapy. Because I get to take out a lot of aggression beating the hell out of a log. Whew. Once again, I want to thank Another Space Nut for jumping in here, dropping a super chat on me. That was absolutely cool. If you like the idea of being self-sufficient, teaching yourself whatever you need to know, not relying on what these corporations are going to tell you can do and what you can't do. I teach people how to repurpose, repair, rebuild. And hold true to the adage that the rich man doesn't have more than he needs. He needs less than he has. If that's something you can get behind, I'd love to have you as a subscriber or maybe even a member. Lots of channels will hit you with the teaser and say that, you know, there's more stuff coming soon. But if you had any idea what was coming soon, you'd see that I hope to make this quite a bit different. Hey, Norm. Morning. Good to see you. I hope to make this channel quite different from what most of you expect. I haven't exactly got it all fleshed out yet, but if you'd like, I have gone live.
Sorry,
Nope.
It is locked and the keys are not on the thing.
Excuse me, guys. Give me a second. I'm going to go help out my...
Sorry, Bobby.
No, you're fine. Seconds, I swore I hung them up here. There we go.
Thank you very much.
Of course. Anyways, Sorry about that. What was I saying? If you want to go take a look-see, I hope you come back. But MikeIsMakingStuff.com is live and online now. And that thing, well, let's just say it's going to have a whole lot more than what's up there right now. That's for sure. Let's get you guys back down here so you can see what's going on. We got some pretty significant progress. There you go, so you can see what's up. We've got down into this thing quite a ways. It's going pretty well, Lions, I think. Lily, thank you for hanging out and watching. I hope you're enjoying what's going on. To make Corey happy, let's just try this. Grab a battery. Let's give this rickety old skill saw a chance. See what happens. Yeah, I hate this saw. I hate this rickety sucker. But if we get it to make a really light skim cut, maybe that'll do us some justice. Well, not that light. Let's at least, you know, touch the wood. Yeah, I know. I don't have a handheld planer, Lily. I used to. But I ended up getting rid of it. Besides that, I think that as I continue in, this dimension here is so small, I'll have a very limited path for the 4-inch handheld player to be able to get in there, and the motor would smack on this side, and I wouldn't make it very far. And again, it wouldn't be as fun for you guys. To watch me tear at this thing like an idiot. I am no stranger to understanding that a bit of self-deprecating idiocy goes a long way when it comes to YouTube watchers. I already suggested the chainsaw. Yeah. Yeah, you did. But it wouldn't be nearly as fun, I'm telling you. What kind of wood is it? I have no earthly idea. I think it's an old dried up piece of oak. I think it is. It's kind of dark for oak. There's the end grain. It might just be dried out, God knows what. Maybe acacia. old dried out piece of elm, who knows? It is dry as hell, like all wood I got. It is absolutely dry. But we got the walk of shame again this morning. Bye, sweetie. Hope you had a good time. That's not the same one as last week either. It is absolutely dry. But again, I can't help it to think that might work in my advantage, the way it's playing out in my head. Let's get you down here so you guys can watch a little more. No, absolutely not. That's cheating. Well, that went different in my head. It's all right. Bend the blade back straight. Get back after it. I would say it's dry. And if it's pure dust, then let it be pure dust. I bet it'll still be cool as shit when I'm done. Or I will have learned a bunch of shit. Either way. I believe that would be what business people call a win-win. What are we making? Okay. So the reason that so much of this can roughly be shot out of here like this is because I'm going to carve a diorama in the bottom of it. I think it is. I think a lot of people get some benefit out of watching other people do some shit, especially do some things without the tools that they have. You know, like what if I got a viewer that loves the fact that I make do with what I got, and then I run down and I go buy a chainsaw to do all of this, when maybe they can't afford a chainsaw, or maybe they live in a place where it doesn't make rational sense for them to have a chainsaw. What if I was teaching them with a little time and a little persistence, they can make it happen without it? that they could get away with maybe nothing more than a chisel and a mallet. Corey, that's a wee bit sexist, friend. You could either say that every person needs a chainsaw, or you could say that I may have a demographic of people watching me do this, male or female, then honestly just get skeeved out by the idea of running a chainsaw. Or maybe they live in a place with a piece of shit HOA that says you can't run a chainsaw because you're breaking the noise ordinance and we're going to charge you at HOA fines because you're being a hillbilly. Country boy, how you doing, bud? The idea is that this is a minimalist endeavor. It don't take a whole hell of a lot to make something like this happen. It takes time. It takes persistence. It takes drive. But like most things, when you get down to the meat and potatoes of it, it doesn't take much more than that. Just being hard-headed and determined and saying this is happening. Let's get in here and make a couple more slits. Thank you, Lions. All right. I bet we get a little bit of a trench going on there. Actually, my audio, I have to tell you, is thanks to the channel Palato Creations. He, when I first started, I honestly struggled and I had all kinds of help trying to get my audio levels right. Angela, good to see you. Thank you for stopping in. But I had all kinds of help trying to get the audio set up right. And as a gesture of kindness, he ended up sending me this set of microphones like you have set right here. And they have their own noise cancellation. They're really nice. I'll see if I can find a link so that you'll be able to get them in the description if you want to. I think you got them off of Amazon. I hope you have a wonderful day too, Angela. Thank you. All right, let's see. We're starting to get to the point where we can really start evacuating some wood here. Oh, yeah. Just a second, guys. I don't know what happened with my power. Give me just a minute. I'll be back, guys. Just a minute. Something happened with my power. Let me go check it out.